5 weird things I do as a Catholic. You may look at me a little differently after you hear this. And real quick, I know a lot of these things might tend towards scrupulosity. I don't need religious or spiritual direction from anybody. I already get that from my priest. This is just fun and lighthearted. Number 1, when I go to adoration, a lot of times there's nobody else in the chapel. So what you're supposed to do when you leave the chapel and nobody else is in there, you're supposed to close the tabernacle. And when you get in there, when you first walk in, if nobody else is there, you have to open the tabernacle. And I have to say, I feel so weird touching the tabernacle. Like I'm not worthy. Sometimes I've actually used the crucifix from my rosary to open and close it because I don't know. I feel weird actually touching the tabernacle to do it with my unconsecrated hands. So I know that it's not the Ark of the Covenant, but I'm not going to end up like Uzzah in Eucharistic adoration. Number 2, weird thing that I do as a Catholic. I have to get to Mass at least an hour early. If I don't get there an hour early at least, I feel weird. I just, I always like to read through the readings. I have to pray my rosary and do other devotionals. And if I don't get there in time to do all of that, I don't feel I'm prepared well enough for Mass. When my wife and I were younger and we had younger kids, it wasn't always possible to get there that early. A lot of times we were lucky to get there before the opening processional. So I get it when you have kids. But for me, I like that time before Mass to prepare. Number 3, and kind of related to getting there an hour early, I have to get the same pew. I don't know what it is, but it's like our pew, like we own it. If I don't get that pew, I feel a little uneasy. And okay, again, yeah, it's the holy sacrifice of the Mass. It's the only thing that matters. I get it. It's just weird, so we'll at least sit on the same side if we can't get our pew. But it's weird. It's the seat feels the same every time. And when you go to, and the kneelers are the same. And when you go to a different pew, things are a little bit different and the view is different and all that. We like to sit really far up front because to me, there's fewer distractions and I can just really concentrate on the holy sacrifice of the Mass. So I have to get the same pew every time or I feel weird. The 4th weird thing that I do as a Catholic, I have to calculate the Eucharistic fast, with the precision of a Vatican astronomer, if you will. If I have a breath mint on the way to Mass, I have to do that math. I got to pull out the abacus and do the math in my head and go, okay. And it doesn't violate the hour fast. I mean, a lot of times I'm doing time zone conversions and I'm consulting with canon lawyers to figure out if I've done the Eucharistic fast well enough. That's just me. And the 5th weird thing that I do as a Catholic, if I get distracted or accidentally mispronounce a word during a prayer, I feel like I have to start over. Because apparently Jesus won't accept a rosary if I say one wrong word or I don't feel it as much the first time I said it. I know, it's crazy, it's weird, but I do it. As a bonus, I'll throw out there, number 6, if you will, even though we leave, now it takes us, by the maps, it tells us 55 minutes to get to Mass, so an hour, right? But we still leave 2 hours early in order to get there an hour early. So even though we might leave in a perfect amount of time to get there an hour early, I still drive like a maniac to get, I'm not dangerous. I'm just, for purposes of this video to show you how weird I am, I still drive very pointedly, and I'm not aggressively, but I drive with a purpose to get there. And it's so weird. My wife will be like, will you relax? We have plenty of time. And I'm like, oh, we got to get there. And it's just one of the kids always make fun of me. They always have for years. It's just one of those, again, funny little quirks. So obviously, none of these things are required by the church. They're just weird little rules that I've imposed on myself over the years. They somehow developed in my own brain. And honestly, I think there's some Catholics that have at least one. Most Catholics have at least one of these things that they can share. So please tell me in the comments, what's your weird thing that you just have to do as a Catholic? Please share so that I don't feel all alone in my weirdness. Until next time, God bless and Padre Pio, Order Pro Nobis.